caused my entire town to go obese. I did a horrible scam that made a lot of people gain weight. I grew up and still live in the Netherlands, but about 10 years ago I did a high school exchange program in the US. Meaning I lived in a small town in America for a year and went to the local high school. On my first day there, the people from the program told me about a small shop in town that sells authentic Dutch food. I didn't think much of it at first, but it was nice to have a place to go to get a taste from home. About 2 months in, I started to crave some of my favorite Dutch sweets, so I decided to check out this store. Turns out, it was the real deal. The labels were even still in Dutch. So I bought some of the best stuff and chatted a little with the owner of the store, who was also Dutch. That's why he was selling Dutch food along with the normal stuff. He also told me nobody in town really knew about this, which we both agreed was a shame. The next day during lunch I was eating one of my newly acquired sweets when one of my friends asked what it was. I gave him one of the sweets and he understandably really enjoyed it, so everyone else also wanted to try one. One of my friends liked it so much he asked if he could buy one of the bags from me. Now here's where the trouble started, because I really didn't want to part with my bag of delicious sweets. I named the high price of $10 even though it only cost me a little over $4. When asked about the high price, I just made up some lie about shipping costs from the Netherlands. To my surprise, he actually went for it and gave me $10 in exchange for my bag of sweets, so I went back to the store and bought 2 new bags. This little cycle between me and him continued for a week until someone else, who I wasn't friends with but he was, also wanted to buy a bag, and from there my scam was off. I started selling to many students and parents who just really enjoyed these sweets. I even joined forces with the store owner, making sure we always matched prices and keeping customer count high. Obviously some teachers and other school staff caught wind and threatened to report me, but I could easily buy their silence for a free bag of sweets. This went on for the rest of the school year. By the end I made sure all my customers knew to go to that little store after I left to keep my friend, the store owner, in business. Fast forward to earlier this year, there was a 10-year reunion for my class, and obviously I decided to fly out and catch up with my old friends. When I first went to the store and saw how it was doing, I immediately noticed that there were a lot more Dutch products than 10 years ago. The owner explained how due to my efforts back then, he was able to grow the business and people just kept on buying the food because it's that good. He did have to drop prices back to normal since the shipping cost excuse doesn't work anymore these days, but according to him that only made people want it more. At first I felt pretty proud of this, but during my time in town I started to notice a lot more people had gotten obese since I was last there. I did some digging and found out that the main cause is believed to be those Dutch sweets everyone loves. After finding this out I started to feel genuinely guilty, because of me about 80% of his town's population became obese.